Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8 and Third Reich events. Let's continue. We are pushing forward when and where we can. Well, they keep thinking they're going to get out of there. Only one down here. You're having supply problems. Yes. Okay, rocket artillery. Our artillery production industry has advanced. And we're stopping that. And supply transportation. I presume that means everything from trucks, trains, planes, I don't know. Catch all, easy, basic thing. Ejection seats, yes, okay. So now our pilots will be more survivable if they have to eject from the aircraft. We will go with pressure suits. Even if you're doing the pressurized cockpit, which allows much easier high altitude flying, it's the G suit that really helps. I don't know how much like the 262 pilots would benefit from it because it's not that fast of a fighter. Uh-oh, we're already having revolts. Okay. Well, let's take these guys out of the fight. Put them in. Yeah. And I just sent all my new build. Well, some of my new build. But those guys, from here. New build police units heading towards India to deal with revolt risks in the east, so let's see. Those police units, they're not the best, as in the lowest. Not sure whether military police, I think military police have better fighting capabilities. Don't know which between the two has better suppression. The SS units still have the best suppression. But what's nice about the order police is that they're fairly cheap and fairly low on manpower. So they're good for internal. Since we're already getting it in Brazil, let's throw some of these up the top. And we'll be back to researching more things when the time comes, but we're still not even up to 100% on the officers, so once we get up to hopefully by 105 or a little more, then we'll start pushing back towards research. Nothing, because I don't think there's anything critical at the moment that we must research. Okay, and got Adolf Dolfo over here to be our initial. What I'm planning on doing here is because these air bases, I mean, this happens to be, and I'm expanding it obviously there in St. John's. This doesn't even have an air base, so we're going to take it out just to secure the port. And since we got these guys here, I think this will probably be, no, these are the, I'm waiting for, they mess with the Canadians. Okay, yeah, you guys keep, heading back. Don't stay there. You're not strong enough to stay in that area, and I don't want to lose ships. Okay, long range and short range aircraft has production efficiency has improved. Yeah, this is overcompensating, but oh well. Doesn't hurt. We can just jump back into research. Okay, so these guys, we're going to use these guys and here. Brunswick, 2 pocket battleships and 2 light cruisers. One of them meet up out here and join that other transport fleet. Now, we'll put these guys aboard. Yes, that transport fleet was, well, question. Okay, they're heading out, so they tangled with somebody. These guys we're gonna, even if it's a suicide mission, we're gonna put them out there to try to discourage. And because I think, let's be cautious, I want to stay away, somewhat away from American air power. There we go. Get them naval striking. But since we're over utilizing this airbase already, see, we're already battling with American. Oh, that's pretty good. Going after theirs. Their naval bombers. Yeah, I knew we'd win, but it's just distracting. We're already having supply problems. It's the infrastructure in care. Okay, that makes sense. We will support that attack since we redirected the other one. Like you can see, we're already having supply problems. We've got to get down here and get Rio de Janeiro. Open up more ports. Logistical warfare. Well, this will help considerably. Supply transfer costs down, throughput, naval basing efficiency, though it does negatively impact our ICs, but we got plenty at the moment. Logistical warfare. Okay, too far in advance. Keeps that going. Carrier damage control systems. Great. We want to keep our carriers alive. I believe that's one that's normally upgrading without having to put it back in the production line. Okay, we've taken out Iberia. We'll see whether Vichy France can control that well enough. We'll see when we're pulling our troops out, just not right away, I think, because not much else to do with them, but let's get them to the port here. We don't need to go. We'll send all these guys. Oh. Strategic redeployment back to this port. Well, I think that's enough for the officers. Switching over the officers for the moment. Looking for 44 techs that we might want to research. Now we have a few of those units. So we'll do that. How's our air doing? Okay, well. Okay. Because we want them to repair up instead of just slowly waste away. No, look up here. Report. Now I'm planning on, not sure exactly when, but sometime after. Let's find a nice 10 base. Gotta be a bunch around here. 12, there we go. Because several people asked, so since there's some interest, let's do it. Doing a tutorial on air, and I'm sort of waiting for Black Ice 8.5.1 or whatever it's going to be called next when it comes out, just so that we're working with the latest stats and not... the reason I'm going up here is because I think these are connected either here or through there, through a land bridge. At least I know they have been in other versions of the map. Just see what the latest stats are when it comes to new air types and stuff to look at it. I'm going to do a tutorial thing. But one question I was asked was the size of what size of the unit is best. Well, I don't know if there's an absolute is best, because there's a lot of air bases like here. I mean, now this happens to be one that's pretty big, but say down here, well, another one that happens to be pretty big. Picking good one. Okay, here's one that is just what, level 1 here for Rio de Janeiro. I think we're next to it. We're getting good intel on that. Maybe not. I don't know. But there are many that are smaller, like I was just looking up here for a 10 or larger. So if you're building air wings of 6 or 8 or whatever to win the initial battle, which is a good size, 5 or 6 is particularly good. You got a lot of 3s, and if you're basing them in smaller airports, they don't repair fast. So you sort of have to... Okay, I'm going to send you over here. I'm not going to wait. And so that there's sort of a mix, and to some degree it's what you're doing with the unit. So I'll go into it a little bit more. Not necessarily that it's... You know, there's, like I say, I don't think there's a one best. There are some reasons for doing it different sizes. And weird. Fill different roles. Okay, well, looks like some of our motor torpedo boats are going to get chewed up out there. And let's put a few more fighters. I want regular fighters, Unit 6. Okay. Smash their capital. So they've already been taken out. They may be somewhat protected by the anti-aircraft guns from Reich. But let's put these guys up. Now the negative problem with shipping units in and out, or one of them is the organization loss when shipping, but when transporting them. No, transporting isn't right. And rebasing, that's the best term. Does that, messes that up a bit. Okay. One. And radar for cruisers, so we can cancel that and come over here, medium warship radar. Getting a lot of things out of production here. Yeah, okay. Some big divisions, few support brigades. We're still waiting on... Well, got some destroyers coming pretty soon, but once those... Oh, we don't need 8 of those. Let's go for 3. No, we don't need 8 of those. Let's go for 2. Now, also, I think it's well organized up enough here. Okay, we're gonna drop on to here. I'm going gambling that they are disorganized, whatever the garrison force here is, because of lack of supply. Thought there would be a big stack of HQs, and like I said, disorganized. Oh wow, there's, well, no, yeah, there's a bunch of artillery. What are the main? Oh, Marine, U.S. Marine units probably. We've just taken out because we're gonna take out there very soon. And these guys are gonna rebase somewhere else, but we'll let them go. About all they have left to offer is the Navy. Here, don't yet have a garrison for that, but we're gonna get ready to... Yeah, let's load up and drop. We have our recon confirming minimum strength. Well, I'm sure I'm in the right place. Now, just go ahead and occupy all that. So hopefully that's throwing the Americans and the British off their game, as well as the Australians. There's still these 2 divisions, okay. And amphibious unit training. Yeah, we're going to let that go. And let's go for flying boat production as well. Flying boats, well, and which is also true when I do the tutorial. I can easily look up what the stats are of the base units, but that only tells me so much because these all vary a bit by what techs you've researched, whether it's armament, various avionics, and night equipment, and that kind of thing. But generally speaking, naval bombers, or will do better attacks against shipping. Generally speaking, seaplanes do better spotting. So I like to put them together. Sometimes, I always break my own rules just for various reasons at times, just because it's what's available or something. But generally put them together. So the spotting is really good when you're hunting down submarines. Naval bombers aren't bad at that. They're just not nearly as good at that. So they're pretty good if you're just trying to spot surface fleets and that kind of stuff. Where's all these guys? I didn't actually rebase them. I just moved them to get them out of there. Spotting surface fleets, something like this, probably the naval bomber. Oh shoot. I won the battle but ran out of fuel. Snowfall ends, okay. Keep accidentally hitting that. Well, since you have fuel, the supplies go. Take it. Commerce defense advance, that's good. And I'm gonna let that one go as well, since we're doing so much more shipping across the Atlantic now. Or we're doing shipping across the Atlantic now. And we'll go back to one of my old favorites there. So it sort of depends on what you're using. You go just to there. So we're going up to there. See if we can get there before major enemy excuse me, major enemy units do. Or not. Problem is, if you get here, then they put any sea units in the way. They block your retreat. I have had in the past a situation where I have a huge stack of mechanized units sitting here and they're a huge stack of American units trying to get across. And good way to grind up your officers, because there's just no way they're going to win and take hardly any casualties. They keep long battles, basically. Okay, carrier armor advance. Is that... Where is this? Okay. We need to do at least 6, but it's already putting us too far forward. Okay, well. So we're going to stop that for now. Don't know if we're ever coming back to it. Quite honestly, I hope to wrap this up before 46, so... Well, we can... Now let's do that training there. But that's fine if we get limited to this island, because I'm planning on using naval invasions really to break out. Okay. If I happen to win, see, there we go. Just Took a loss. See, we just took a loss, and I don't want to take huge numbers of those. We'll send these guys over to help patrol. Yeah, if we do get the chance to break out and start moving, fine. But if not, I'm content. Okay, well, now we have that as a reasonably well escorted force. Minor air attacks shouldn't be too bad of a thing. Let's see. Been moving some cores to the... This is probably going to be my next core to move over there. So that was up in Hull, so let's rebase to Hull. Okay, envoy rating, not aggressive. Oh, come on, we're all stuck here. Sent over too many forces. You can't even take that. Okay. Yeah, we keep winning. Well, why did we stop going to descend naval? That's all it takes is a ship to come there and it stops any advance. As you can see, I'm sending a bunch of panzer divisions mostly up to there to make sure strategically. Tank destroyer has advanced. Don't know how many of you are watching my... Well, I know how many, about 30 or so are watching my War Thunder episodes, and I don't know how many are you also playing the game. And I really would, if one or more of you want to try to hook up and play together, I would like to record some sessions if we can hopefully get some voice hook up and, you know, coordinate and go in as a pair and do some mayhem together. That would be really cool sometime. I know worldwide in schedules, we may not be able to get anything scheduled to work together, but I would like to do that. But they've just introduced the Jagdpanzer 1 into the game. So, nice to get another historic tank in the game. Come on. Oh, I thought didn't I strategically redeploy you so you go there, even if you don't have supplies. Okay, that's a dead end spot, so head over to here. Bulgaria. Yes. Okay, this is getting too bad. I don't let this get out of hand here. Alright, let's see. Counter destroyers coming, goes. More motor torpedo boats, and more motor torpedo boats, even more motor torpedo boats, and a few more destroyers. Let's do a couple of light cruisers. Just 2. Heavy cruiser. I like pocket battleships because they're pretty quick to build and not that expensive. But they're still limited battleships, but I'm still more worried about either big doom stacks, and I'm not going to outbuild a doom stack, or they're going to hit me with air power. When is that fleet going to get here? Oh, finally here. Okay. I think that'll be enough to get in there and do the job. Invasion. Hopefully quickly, hopefully they won't hit me with anything major. Yes, good. Hedgehog advance. That's good. Defense in depth. And fighter pilot training. Which one's too far in advance? I thought I stopped Hedgehog, didn't I? Oh, not this Hedgehog defense. Ah. This Hedgehog. The Hedgehog on the ship. Yes, yes, I know. Oh boy, too many things. Okay, that's good. Well, on that note, let's see what's here. Okay, no, we're not going to do any of this. Okay, well, at that note, we're going to end this episode. Thanks so much for viewing. Thanks for liking the videos. I do appreciate it. Please post your comments. I'll see you next time.